Money didn't enter their marriage loudly. It crept in quietly between unpaid bills, postponed dreams, and conversations that ended in tired silence. Ethan and Claire had once believed love would be enough. They married young, hopeful, convinced that hard work would naturally lead to stability. Ethan worked in logistics while Claire freelanced as a graphic designer, juggling short contracts and inconsistent pay. At first, their small apartment felt cozy. Then rent increased. Health insurance changed. Groceries cost more every month. And suddenly, love had to stretch further than money. Every morning, Ethan left before sunrise, coffee in a chipped mug, his shoulders already tense. Claire would wake later, opening her laptop at the kitchen table, calculating which bills could wait. Another week. They stopped talking about dreams. Conversations became practical, careful, fragile. Did you pay the electric bill? We'll skip eating out this month. Pride was expensive. Ethan carried the weight silently. He believed it was his duty to provide, to shield Claire from worry, even as worry ate him alive. When overtime was offered, he took it. When weekends were needed, he said yes. Claire noticed the exhaustion before he admitted it. His smiles grew thinner, his patience shorter. His presence faded even when he was home. One night, after yet another overdraft notification, Claire broke. "I'm scared," she whispered. Ethan didn't answer right away. He just stared at the floor, his jaw tight. "I'm doing everything I can." "I know," she said quickly. "I'm not blaming you. I miss us." The room filled with a silence heavier than shouting. Money didn't just limit their spending, it limited their tenderness. The argument started small but cut deep. "Why didn't you tell me the credit card was maxed? Why do you always act like you're carrying this alone? Why does love feel like a burden now?" Some nights, they went to bed without resolving anything, backs turned, hearts heavy, pretending sleep would fix what honesty hadn't. The breaking point came one winter evening. Ethan had just lost his job. Budget cuts, corporate restructuring, a polite apology, and a thin severance check. He sat in the car for nearly an hour before going. Inside, Claire knew something was wrong the moment she saw his face. "I got laid off," he said quietly. She felt fear surge, but she didn't panic. Instead, she reached for his hands. And for the first time in months, he let himself cry. Not loud sobs, just the kind of quiet tears that come when a man finally admits he is tired of being strong. That night, they didn't talk about bills. They talked about truth. "I feel like I failed you," Ethan said. Claire shook her head fiercely. "You didn't fail. You tried. We tried." It was the first time they said we in a long time. The weeks that followed were brutal. Job applications, rejections, interviews that went nowhere. Claire picked up extra freelance work. Ethan took temporary gigs, warehouse shifts, deliveries, anything honest. Their life shrank, but something else grew. They cooked together, laughed at burnt meals, took walks instead of drives. They sat on the couch sharing one blanket, dreaming out loud again, not about luxury, but about peace. They learned something money had never taught them. Struggle reveals truth. Ethan realized his worth wasn't tied to a paycheck. Claire realized love didn't require perfection, only presence. One evening, after Ethan landed a stable job, not glamorous, but steady, they sat at the same kitchen table that once felt like a battlefield. "This was the hardest year of my life," Ethan said. Claire smiled softly. "Mine too. But we didn't break," he added. She squeezed his hand. "We bent. Money would always come and go, but the way they chose each other, again and again, even when it was uncomfortable, that was wealth no account could measure. They didn't come out rich, they came out real. And sometimes, that's more than enough. When money tests love, only honesty keeps it alive." Subscribe to Tales Studio for stories about real relationships, real struggles, and the quiet strength it takes to endure together.